Been a big day when Stephen A. Smith comes dressed to kill like this. It is the first day of the NBA playoffs, and you did not come to play.
Well, we'll wait till the show begins. This does deserve an ISO shot.
Oh,
I mean, there it is.
There it is.
There it is right there. There it is right there. All right, that works.
There it is.
How y'all doing?
And that is how we start out the NBA playoffs 2025. You two know what the importance of a game one is here, UD. Can you just set the stage, how teams are feeling going into this game and the importance of that?
Well, if you're the home team, you're nervous as hell. You don't want to give up home court advantage. And if you're the road team, you're looking at it, we got 2 games just to get one. If we can just steal one, then we steal home court advantage.
Well, it's the first time the Los Angeles Lakers, Stephen A., have had home court advantage since LeBron James came to the Lakers. This is the pièce de résistance game that ends our day on ABC. What's going to be the key between the Lakers and the Timberwolves?
Well, I think that LeBron and Luka playing together in the postseason for the first time. We're going to see what they're doing right now. Defensively, I think that's where it really, really starts for them. We can talk about LeBron and we can talk about Luka, but when they really have thrived this year is when we've seen the Lakers collectively elevate their level of play defensively. If you're able to frustrate Minnesota and shut them down offensively, that's going to go a long way towards you having an easier path to victory.
We get it. Bron, Luka, the best players on the Lakers. The most important player is Austin Reeves, right? He's the guy that's going to move the needle because we're going to see at times in this series, LeBron James is going to be asked to do a lot, like play the center position at times. So now you have that secondary ball handler in Austin Reeves, who they trust, who, by the way, this season, they're 27-9 when he scored 20 points or more. So I'm looking at Austin Reeves. If he can have those moments in this series throughout this playoffs, then absolutely. The Lakers can make a deep run.
And also Rudy Gobert, what's going to be his impact in this series? We understand what it is in the pick and roll, but I think you made a good point. If he's not going to be a great defensive impact guy, which he can be, then hit the offensive glass. Get some extra possessions.
We are in L.A. This is Tinseltown. It's the land of stars, bright lights, big city, all of that good stuff, right? Anthony Edwards is in the house. And you got 2 preeminent stars in this league, in this world, in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. This is a phenomenal opportunity for Anthony Edwards to elevate his profile. If somehow, some way he's able to knock off those 2, that would be special.
But we still haven't mentioned the guy that's playing alongside Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle, who they traded Karl Anthony Towns for.
Gotta play.
Second part of the season, been balling. He's finally found his niche with this team, right? He could be the X factor for the Minnesota Timberwolves because I'm looking and I'm saying, J.J. Redick, who's going to guard Julius Randle? It's not act like he can't go give you 20 and 10.
And Minnesota should definitely have a chip on their shoulder. The world is picking the Lakers, and what have Luka and LeBron combination done in the playoffs? Absolutely nothing.
We are going to be with you for the next 10 hours for Game 1. SportsCenter for now, sending it back to you.
Thanks so much, Malika. Sports betting analyst Aaron Dolan joins us now for EKD for 3, the top 3 things you need to know before betting the NBA today. Aaron, what do you got for us?
Well, before tip-off, we need to look at still some futures, more specifically in the player prop area. I'm looking at Anthony Edwards for any game in the series against the Lakers to go for 40 or more points. He's done so 9 times this season. We also know he's one of, if not the best, one of the top stars, I should say, in the league, especially in terms of scoring. He can put up a 40-point performance like nobody else. I expect him to do so against this Lakers defense. I'm also looking at James Harden for him to have 35 or more points at any point during the series against the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets have struggled defensively during the regular season as a whole and also as of recently. And we know James Harden can have one of those big games in the postseason. He also had 39 points in the NBA Cup against this team, so I do like him to go for 35 or more with this series going long. And last but not least, how about Jalen Brunson to end with the most points in their series against the Detroit Pistons? Of course, Cade Cunningham is the favorite in this market, which isn't surprising, but I think the value is going to be on, like Perk says, big body Brunson. This guy can drop 40 like nobody else. Look back to last year. Go to the postseason stats. Look at how many 40-point games he had. I think he will be fine against this Detroit Pistons defense that, yes, is scrappy and is good, but Jalen Brunson in the postseason is no joke, so I'll take him to have the most points in that series.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson definitely expected to heat up on the offensive end, and it should be a good matchup between those 2 teams as well. Aaron, trying to make you some money. Thanks so much.
Playoffs tip off today. 4 Game 1 matchups today. ESPN ABC finishing the night with Luka and LeBron, those Lakers, taking on the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, and the Timberwolves. So with that, let's bring in our NBA reporter, Tim Bontemps. Timmy B, let's dive into the final game of the night, and that is the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Of course, the front line will be a major factor here. It is a strength of the Timberwolves. The lack of size is something we've been talking all season long about the Lakers. What can you tell us about the clash of styles here?
Well, Brian, you're a boxing guy, and styles make fights, right? And when you look at this series between the Wolves and the Lakers, the style of this series is going to be the bigs inside for the Wolves going up against the perimeters, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves for the Lakers. And which side can make the other come to them, whether the Lakers have to adjust to Minnesota's size or whether the Wolves have to downsize to combat those perimeter guys attacking Rudy Gobert inside and potentially getting the Wolves out of what they like to do. That is the thing that's probably going to go a long way towards determining which of these teams is going to come out on top. We saw Luka Doncic go at Rudy Gobert time and again last year in that Wolves-Mavs Western Conference Finals, but that Dallas team had guys like Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford that could attack the rim and give Luka a lob threat. That is not something that this Lakers team is going to have. They're primarily going to have Dorian Finney-Smith, a 6'7" small forward, out there at center trying to space the Wolves out and get Rudy Gobert away from the basket. But again, it's going to be that matchup inside and whether Minnesota can control the glass and force the Lakers to have to come back to that, or whether they can get Rudy Gobert out of his comfort zone, potentially off the court. That is the thing to watch in this series. It could decide which of these teams advances.
By the way, game one tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Lakers enter as a 4.5-point favorite. So let's go out east now. Let's talk about the Pistons and the Knicks. And, of course, on paper, the Knicks, the deeper, more experienced team. What are both sides talking about when it comes to that experience factor and how that will play out in this series?
Well, Brian, I've been to a lot of playoff games now at Madison Square Garden. It is one of the most raucous environments in the league, and it's a place where if you haven't been in the playoffs before at all, and especially if you haven't been on that stage, it can take a minute to adjust to. And I think that's the biggest challenge for Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons tonight. And J.B. Bickerstaff, the coach of the Pistons, is well aware of that environment. Over the last couple years ago, I should say, he was the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers when guys like Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley were in that situation for the first time, playing in the playoffs, playing at Madison Square Garden, and that Cavaliers team did not handle that situation well. And if the Pistons want to upset the Knicks and make this a long competitive series and even come out on top, they're going to have to handle their emotions and handle the energy that's going to obviously be all over the place tonight inside the Garden. We'll see if this young Pistons team, led by Cade Cunningham, is likely going to be making his first All-NBA appearance this season. We'll see if they can handle that in the opening of the series tonight.
They've done it during the regular season. Pistons took 3 or 4 from the Knicks. By the way, Pistons-Knicks game 1 tonight, 6 Eastern, right here on ESPN. That's Tim Bontemps. Thank you, Tim.
On ESPN and ABC, concluding tonight with the Lakers hosting the Timberwolves at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Joining us now is our senior NBA writer, Shams Charania, and let's start with the big news out west. You first broke the news of Rob Pelinka's multi-year extension and his new title as Lakers president of basketball operations and GM. His top priority remains keeping Luka in LA. What can you share about how everything ties in here?
I mean, if this was Lakers owner Jeannie Buss's message, not only around the league, but to Luka Doncic, of course, that she has fortified her organizational structure, the leadership there. Their top priority of the offseason